Let's unpack it. The ghetto, the pits. Let's take you back to your school days when you had to unpack it. From a backpack that smelt of paraffin to suggest bekpompis or so that's in. Let's unpack it. The ghetto, the pits. Take you back to your high school days when you went to that multiracial school, chilling with multilingual kids that knew only to have coconut water so that English could flow perfectly against their tongues. Let's unpack it. The ghetto, the pits, to when your mother could only afford to free handedly do a certain hairstyle on your hair and it didn't sit well with those kids. Let's unpack it. The ghetto, that guy you had a crush on, the cool kid that would greet you, say hey, you'd be like, Sean Dwanati, she's so ghetto. Let's unpack it. The ghetto, the pits. When did this term become so offensive to you? Is it perspective? Lack thereof? Is it something that you're not seeing perfectly? Forgive me, for I grew up in this place and I knew only to take it as a perfect setting for my upbringing. Let's unpack it. The ghetto, the pits. Take it to certain moments where your Twitter intelligent friends would use it to describe certain settings that don't fit well with their circles of being. Let's unpack it. The ghetto, the pits. Lalela ntwana. If somebody were to say to me I'm ghetto, I wouldn't be offended. I don't see it in a wrong light. Perhaps it's my upbringing growing up listening to Kwaito and how they would say ghetto fabulous, ghetto scandalous is all I made it seem oh so right. Like when Mrs. Tanduswamazwai said ghetto is our first love, where our dreams are drenched in gold. I guess the narrative changed when the muffins came through to serve a cake of song that said there's no way that I will die in the ghetto. There's no way that my kids will grow up in the ghetto. What is so wrong with the ghetto? What is so terrible about the ghetto? Your oppressors used it against you. Your oppressors placed it before you and set a certain standard and told you to take it up a notch and forget about where you come from. Use it to abuse those that are still there. Lalel. If you say I'm ghetto, then it is well with me. And if the ghetto is considered dirty, then hey, angagezi namaj. If the ghetto is considered a place that is filled with impoverished people, then hey, ngisalambila namaj. If the ghetto is considered a place where people get drunk off their own thoughts, trying to escape the realities that they face with of untarred roads and the sun that shines also brightly, then begantwan nsamba shida namaj. If the ghetto was considered a place where there are certain people that are uneducated just because of a certain tongue they cannot speak, then sure, angagabi multilingual namaj. If the ghetto is considered a term that seems to offend you and hurt you all so much, then me and my people are still bleeding namaj. Ain't nothing wrong with the term ghetto. Ain't nothing wrong with the term ghetto. It's how you look at it. It's how you take it in. It's what happened to you to make you feel as though that this is a place and a term that describes a certain sin. Ain't nothing wrong with the ghetto. I'm still ghetto. My hairstyle's ghetto. My skin is ghetto. My tongue is ghetto. My people are ghetto. We smoke a kunin na magang ibadala ma dice shayla ma fleet. We're still ghetto. It is what it is. I'm sorry I am the way I am, but ain't nothing wrong with that term. Unless you failed a certain term because of how they kept on reminding you that you were never a part of their cool school.